Hey there guys, today is day 14 of the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge. Now the Avian Advent Calendar is an advent calendar of parrot toy parts. So every single day I'm going to be opening up a new box, seeing what toy parts are inside, and coming up with a brand new parrot toy to make. So if that is something you guys are interested in seeing, you want to make sure to stick around, because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at High Red Bird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. Part of how I am doing that this year is with the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge. Now, the Avian Advent Calendar is a product put together by the Leather Elves. They are a well-known, reputable parrot toy making company. If you'd like to know more about them, you can find more information in the description section down below. But they have put together an advent calendar of parrot toy parts. So every single day, I'm going to open a brand new box. We'll see what is inside, and I will come up with a brand new toy to make using those parts. So there are a couple of goals with this challenge. First and foremost, if you guys are watching along, you'll be able to see the toys that I am building. Sometimes those are going to be toy parts that you're not that comfortable using, or maybe even toy parts that you haven't seen before. So hopefully it'll give you ideas for those brand new toy parts. It will encourage you guys to think about how you are providing enrichment for your animals with a goal-based approach. Figuring out what you want your toys to do, how you want your animals to interact with them, is going to be critical in setting yourself up a successful enrichment program for your animals. And of course, you will hopefully be learning techniques for building new toys, for monitoring their safety, making sure that they are very fun, engaging, but safe for your animals to interact with as well. So with all of that being said, I do need to ask you guys, if you have birds that you are going to be building this for, or things that you're thinking about, let me know what type of birds you have at home. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. If I know what type of birds you guys have at home, that helps me tailor these videos to be exactly what will be most helpful for you guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the toy that we are going to be building today. All right, guys, so for day 14 of the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge, we have a piece of coconut rope. Now, this is going to be a little bit different from what you've seen before, since all of the other toys we've made have either been foot toys, they've been freestanding, or they've used leather strips. The coconut rope is going to be a little bit different. And this, I think, is a great way to show off one of the questions that I get a lot. There are a lot of people who ask me, what is an easy way to put loops into their toys to make them easy to hang up? When you try to do a loop on the end, it can be a little bit tricky. And the coconut rope, since it does have a memory to it, it doesn't necessarily lay perfectly flat. It has a shape that it's going to want to go to. You can stretch it out. If you had weight on it, it would obviously go to that, but otherwise it bounces back. So this is a great way to show off when you're making any toys out of anything like this. If you go ahead and just tie a knot with it folded in half, it's going to naturally give you that loop on one side. So you guys can see that's going to be a great place for you to attach a quick link, to move that to your bird's cage, play stand, anything like that. And now, instead of one working tail to add toy parts, you have two. So it just means that you're going to double up what goes on your toy. You're going to need more toy parts to add to it, but it also should mean that your bird has more that they can interact with, and that toy will hopefully last a little bit longer. So if you have difficulty using knots, making loops in particular, this is a great way to do that. Now for today's toy, I'm going to use this as a base. We're going to use the box and the shredded paper from today. We're actually going to use the box and the shredded paper from yesterday as well. And if that right there is not enough shredded paper, by this point, you guys should have more than enough shredded paper. You can definitely pack these as full as you would like. But I'm going to go ahead and start with one box. I'm actually going to take the shredded paper out just for right now to make it a little bit easier. So what I want to do is I want to feed one end of this through the box. I'm actually going to open up this bottom part just wide enough for that rope to fit through. And I want to make sure that I have enough of it to give myself slack to tie a knot just to hold this into place. It can be a little bit fiddly, again, because that coconut rope has the memory of its own, but you just need enough to tie a knot. If you guys don't have that much of a tail to work with, it might be helpful to use something like your needle nose pliers that can reach that little bit of the end and pull it through even if there's not really enough for your fingers to grab it easily. I love using my needle nose pliers on things like this. They really are one of those tools that just makes things a little bit easier. They can get a grip when I can't. And I definitely encourage people to have their tools for toy making set and ready to go. Now that I have that knot on the bottom, I could go through and stuff this, but I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to attach a box to the other tail as well. So I'm going to go ahead, pull the paper out from that one. In the meantime, it does look very nice and festive, but we're going to do the same technique. We're going to take this tail, feed it through the top of the box, through that opening at the very bottom. The second one can be a little bit trickier just because you already have the first box that is attached. So just try to be patient. It really isn't that difficult or painful. And I can promise you guys right now that if you don't have to talk your way through it or record yourself while doing it, it's going to be even easier still. Now, once you have that fed through, again, just like on the first one, you want to make sure that you are able to tie that knot in the very bottom. And this one, just because of how the rope is laying, I don't even know that I will need my needle nose pliers. There we go. So now I have that ready to go, or almost ready to go. I have the two knots on it, so you guys can see it is nice and sturdy. It hangs on really well, but I want to go ahead and refill these boxes. So I am going to go ahead and put that shredded paper in one. I am going to go ahead, put the other color shredded paper in the other one. And in one side, we're going to do this red side, I'm going to do a couple of foraging treats. Now, I am not doing them in both sides, and you do not have to. In nature, not every attempt at looking for food would be successful. That's why you keep looking for food. So if you have something like this that's built with two different options in one, if you only put food in one side, maybe sometimes you don't put food in either side, but it does encourage your bird to keep looking, to keep interacting with things. If every single box they open up had their entire day's diet, there would be no reason for them to continue to work through and interact with these things. So a little bit of food items sporadically hidden in different things can definitely help you guys if you're having difficulty encouraging your birds to interact with new enrichment items. But I certainly hope this was a couple of things for you guys to think about if you have difficulty with the loops on rope, or if you just want to think about new ways to provide foraging toys for your birds. So I definitely hope that this was helpful. If you guys like this idea, you want to make sure that you like this video. You want to subscribe to the Hi Redbird channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of these fun videos. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the next day of the Avian Advent Calendar Challenge. You need to say thank you to my Patreon patrons for helping to make these videos possible. You can find out more by visiting Hi Redbird on Patreon or clicking the link in the description section down below if you would like more information. Thanks!